Now it's officially preseason, man. It's officially preseason. Carrington is being prepared, bro. Carrington is being prepared. It's officially preseason. It's officially preseason. We can see them just preparing Carrington today. The players return for training. So, hey, that's something to actually be excited about. Players are returning for training. You can see they're just preparing the whole stadium, bro. I'm sorry, preparing Carrington, the training sessions, the whole environment, bro. And Diego León, he's gonna join the team as well. But you can see they prepared the whole environment, the whole training facility. So, Man United are officially back, man. Man United are officially back. Some of the players have already tapped in, right? Some of the players have already tapped in. Some of the players do tap in early, but obviously, the training session will start a bit later, bro. So, yeah, first day of training, man. First day of training. Manchester United, Diego León. This guy is back, bro. This guy's here. So yeah, so it's a massive, massive day, bro. Man United are officially back. Diego León has officially. This is gonna be his official first training session. So massive for Diego León, massive for Manchester United. The team is officially back. Cunha is still he's gonna be there, bro. He's gonna be there for the first training session, bro. A lot of the players are gonna be there. Cunha, we know, except for guys like Marcus Rashford, Jadon Sancho, Garnacho, they've been chased out of the team, bro. Marcus, Jaden, Garnacho, they've been chased out of the team. So we won't be able to. We shouldn't expect those players, right? But somebody like Rasmus Højlund, he's returning. There is no problem between Rasmus and the manager. But you can see Carrington, bro. They are ready for this training session, and it's gonna be later today. But just positive signs that okay, Man United are officially back. Diego León, he's here, bro. He's here. His first ever training session. That'll be interesting. Let's see how he actually performs, man. Because preseason is in like 2 weeks. Of course, we still have that FIFA Club World Cup going on, but preseason is in 2 weeks. Apparently, the team will travel around the 17th of July, right? Because 19th of July, that's their first game. So around the 17th of July, they'll fly to America. That's what some reporters are saying, but it's not officially confirmed when they're gonna fly. Because 19th of July, that's their first preseason game in America. But obviously they'll fly before that, maybe 3-4 days before that, man. And we heard about those Victor Osimhen rumors and news, bro. We heard about that. Okay, Victor Osimhen rumors, news. Apparently, he is one for Manchester United, right? Apparently that is one for Manchester United, and we still need to wait for a more credible journalist to confirm it. We heard that okay, Victor Osimhen, he rejected to reduce his wages, right? That was the news. That was the news. Apparently, Man United are serious with Victor Osimhen, but apparently he refused to reduce his wages. But we still need to hear this from major journalists like Fabrizio, like Ornstein. I think we will officially hear from what they have to say, bro. Yeah, welcome to Manchester United, Diego León, bro. It's actually great to see a player like that just coming to Old Trafford, bro. This is your new home, and I do think he's gonna deliver. I do believe he's gonna deliver. We're gonna be seeing him in the cup games for sure, for sure. Maybe Carabao Cup, FA Cup. I think that those are the games he's gonna be starting. Maybe Premier League, he's gonna be a substitute, right? Well, that's a bit realistic, bro. If he doesn't, because we heard he's not going out on loan, right? He's not going out on loan, and he said that himself. I'm not gonna go out on loan. I'm gonna fight for my place. I'm gonna be here. So with Diego León, it's just a situation of okay, he's gonna be part of the team probably in like the Carabao Cup games, right? Carabao Cup, FA Cup. I think that's where he's gonna be starting. But Premier League, I think he's gonna be like a substitute. Maybe 70th minute he comes in, Dogu goes out. So we are gonna see Diego León for sure, bro. We are gonna see Diego León. It's exciting times for Manchester United. Let's just hope as a team, as a club, this preseason is massive for us, bro, because at least now preseason, their first training session is like in what, 1 hour, 2 hours. So Man United are officially back, bro. Man United are officially back. Of course, some players might be late, but Delit, we saw Delit, he's ready. He'll be back for the first training session. Somebody like Joshua Zerski, he'll be back for the first training session. So a lot of the players are gonna be active for this training session, right? Also Cunha, bro. Also Cunha, there is a video of Cunha. Cunha posted a video of him and his son, right? Him and his son training. And we know his son lives in the UK. So it confirms that, okay, Cunha is back in the UK because his son still needs to go to school, this and that. His son never traveled with him to Brazil for his holiday. So Cunha, we saw some other video on his Instagram with him and his son, right? When he went to Brazil alone, right? He didn't go with his son because his kids live in the UK, right? He was playing for Wolves. His family, his kids live in the UK. So he came back. There's a video of him on his Instagram right now. Right now, I think it is right now, of him and his son genuinely playing at home. So it genuinely means Cunha is in the UK. So he'll be part of this preseason as well. Sorry, training session as well. I think this is the first training session we saw on Friday. Ruben Amorim touched in, right? Ruben Amorim touched in Friday. That was the day he actually came back, right? So it's actually all round positive, bro. All round positive. Our first training session, of course, as fans, we want, like, hey, why aren't we signing players? Why isn't there anybody coming in? But overall, Man United, we can see that, okay, yeah, we are somehow, some way getting back, bro. At least with the players we have, let's see what Ruben Amorim does with the preseason, because that was the thing. Okay, Ruben Amorim, he came in mid season, never had a preseason. Let's see how he develops the team now in preseason, how we play in preseason. Obviously, we had a mini preseason, a postseason in Asia, but we can see that, okay, most of the players weren't really too serious. Some of them were. It just shows you that, okay, a lot of the players that were playing in that postseason match, guys like Garnacho, we won't see him this season. So it is what it is, man. It is what it is. And Tyrell Malacia is another one where we're trying to sell the guy, right? We're trying to sell the guy. Will it happen before preseason, bro? Will it happen before the season actually starts? So Tyrell Malacia, Jadon Sancho, Garnacho, and Marcus Rashford. Marcus Rashford, apparently Barcelona are coming back for the guy, right? Barca are coming back for him. And it might be a situation where we do sell Marcus, right? It might be a situation where he does go to Barca, because now Barca, they've realized that, okay, Luis Diaz won't be cheap and they don't have money. So realistically, their best option is Marcus Rashford. So much is going on, and we obviously, Man United will post some clips of the training session, and of course we will post that on this channel as well. So hey, pictures of the training sessions will come out today. Is a major day, man. You're saying the players we had showed what they're capable of. Yeah. They did show what they're capable of, bro. Especially last season, they're not really capable of a lot. So that's why fans are saying, okay, let's build a new team, let's build a new foundation, and probably some fans still want a new goalkeeper, bro, because we saw back-to-back seasons Onana making mistakes, right? The season where we were in the Champions League under Eric Ten Hag, Onana making mistakes in that season. And now last season we saw a lot of matches where Onana was making mistakes. So a goalkeeper is still needed, right? Some fans would say, okay, yeah, a new goalkeeper is still needed. I think some fans will be okay with Onana being a bench goalkeeper, because bench goalies don't really play. So a new goalkeeper probably is needed, right? And most fans will also say, hey, a new probably a new midfielder as well, a good young midfielder, maybe somebody like Richard Rio. Some people want Edison. So Man United, we're just in a situation where we're on a rebuild, but also just trying to sell some players that we don't really need, right? Players that are really causing a lot of problems for Manchester United. So let's just see how the preseason actually develops, how everything just goes into plan. I just hope that, okay, as Man United, we build a proper foundation, right? We build a proper foundation. It'll be exciting to just see some of the preseason games. I think in 2 weeks, fans will be watching those games. Some fans won't, but some fans will be watching those games, trying to gauge, okay, how are the new players gonna be playing? Obviously, Cunha. A lot of fans will watch that preseason for somebody like Cunha. Okay, Cunha, how is he gonna fit into the team? Let's see his role. Let's see how he actually settles in, man. Yeah, we need to sell to buy, man. We need to sell to buy, but who wants our players? That's the main thing. With Rashford, it's already difficult. With Jadon Sancho, it's also difficult because of his wages. He doesn't want to take a pay cut. Same with Tyrell Malacia, who genuinely wants to buy him unless he goes to Saudi. It's extremely hard to sell some of our players. Garnacho, at least Garnacho has interest, but the people that are interested in Garnacho, they haven't made a bid yet. So we're still waiting for people to come in and buy the players we have, bro. We're still waiting for that. And let's just see how we develop as a team. I do genuinely believe, okay, yeah, in a few more like training session, I think probably the first 5 games will have a realistic view of how our team will do for the rest of the season, because the first 5 games, we know who we're playing. We know who we're playing: Chelsea, Arsenal, Man City. Those are hard games. If you can win at least 3 or 4 of the first 5 games, I think it's a great start. So the preseason is massively important because your first 5 games, they're not really easy, right? So gain that momentum in preseason so that first game of the season, you're playing Arsenal, you have that type of momentum, and you just win the game, bro. I do think we can win against Arsenal that first game. It's gonna be major, it's gonna be massive, but let's just get ourselves into a situation where we are delivering, right? We are going to that next level. It's extremely massive, it's extremely important. But I do believe, okay, this team that we have, are they good enough to get top 4? No, we still need to do a lot of work, right? We still need a striker. We still need a midfielder. Cunha alone won't transform this whole team. So I don't know what's going on with Brian Mbeumo. Apparently, if that third bid is rejected, we will walk away. So Brian Mbeumo, he needs to come in so that at least as fans, right, by the end of July, at least Brian Mbeumo is at Manchester United. Maybe even can Man United complete the deal before the 19th of July? Because that's realistic, bro. You have 2 weeks, 1 week, bro. At least in 1 week, you can complete this Brian Mbeumo deal so that he's part of the preseason, right? We saw that, hey, Brian Mbeumo, he's touching in with the Brentford, so he's about to travel for Brentford preseason. So this first training session, most clubs that didn't go to the FIFA Club World Cup, their first training session is today. Most Premier League clubs, so Brian Mbeumo is going back to Brighton for that training session. So it means that no real progress has really happened. So Brian Mbeumo, can we get that deal over the line before the 17th, bro? At least in 10 days. Can you get that deal over the line in 10 days? Before we travel to America, Brian Mbeumo should be a Man United player. At least, bro. At least. That's what we're all begging for as fans. But massive season for Diego León. Massive season for Matheus Cunha. Let's hope they both just deliver, bro. Because we know, hey, both of these players, so much hype behind them, and they are talented. Diego León, we've seen him. He is talented. your first touch doesn't change just because you go to another league. The way you pass the ball doesn't change just because you go to the Premier League. So he has the fundamentals to make it Diego León, and he's not slow either, bro. Diego León, this guy's not slow either, and I think, of course, the physical side, that's where it might hit him in the Premier League. The physicality of the Premier League, that's where he's got to at least get used to, right? Because, yeah, I won't even lie. South America, the physicality is there, but it's not on the level of the Premier League, right? So maybe that's where Diego León might need to adapt his game a bit, that physicality, but he has a bit of physicality as well, bro. He has a bit of physical. Yeah, just bring Mbeumo. We just need Mbeumo over the line. At least if you can bring Brian Mbeumo here, we have something. We can do something. We can go somewhere, right? That's all we ask for as Man United fans. Like, okay, build your foundation before the season starts. At least some of these guys, a major player like Brian Mbeumo, he's going to be major for Ruben Amorim. So you need him for like preseason. I understand if you buy a goalkeeper late, it doesn't really matter, right? If we buy a goalkeeper late towards the end of the transfer window, it doesn't really matter because it's easy for a goalkeeper to adapt. But somebody like a Brian Mbeumo, where he's going to be playing week in, week out, you need him for like preseason so that the manager at least shows him what he wants, right? Ruben Amorim tells him how he wants him to press, how he wants him to play off the ball, on the ball, the runs he wants him to make. So just tactically, he needs to be there for Ruben Amorim just to show that, okay, this is happening, that is happening. So Man United, let's just build a foundation where, as fans, we have something, bro. We need something. Let's hope this preseason is proper, right? A proper preseason, a better preseason to what we had, probably a better season to what we had last season. So, uh, I only feel optimistic when the players come in. Right now, only signing Cunha, we still need a lot more, right? We're all excited with Cunha. We are all excited with Diego León, but we still need a bit more. Get that Brian Mbeumo over the line. Get a new midfielder. Get a new striker. Yes, Gyökeres isn't going to join Manchester United. He's there going to Arsenal. It is what it is, right? It has happened. We move forward. Apparently now it's Victor Osimhen. If Victor Osimhen can somehow, some way reduce his salary, I see him at Manchester United, because it doesn't make sense for Victor Osimhen to reject Saudi. He rejected Saudi. He rejected Chelsea. What is he waiting for, right? I don't know what Victor Osimhen is waiting for. Why did he reject the Saudi proposal? Because Saudi, they were going to pay insane money. So I think somehow he's waiting for something. And these reports saying Victor Osimhen refused to reduce his wages, I don't know if they are real or not, but we just have to wait and see. Somebody like Fabrizio Romano will update us on the striker, bro. Let's see what we do, bro. Let's see how we cope this season, because somebody like Victor, you just need a striker that's gonna deliver, right? I think that's all we're asking for as United fans. Bring in a striker that's genuinely gonna deliver. That's genuinely gonna take you to the next level. That's genuinely gonna come in and just do what he needs to do, right? That's all we're begging for. Man United, please. Bring in guys that are competent. Bring in guys that can deliver. Bring in guys that can take you to the next level. And I think fans would be okay with Victor Osimhen. Let's see who we bring in as a striker. Obviously, we heard Hugo Ekitike. Ekitike, he's too expensive. He is too expensive for Manchester United right now. So Hugo Ekitike, he's too expensive. But let's just go to that next level as a team, as a club. Yeah, you're saying Osimhen is waiting for us to sell so he can come to Manchester United. Maybe that's the thing. Maybe that is the thing. Hey, Osimhen is waiting for Man United to sell some players so that we can buy. Sell to buy. We heard the transfer policy. Of course, Brian Mbeumo, we're gonna spend a lot on Brian Mbeumo. We've already spent a lot on Cunha. So after the Brian Mbeumo deal, you might need to sell one or two players, right, to keep it flowing, to keep it moving, man. You're saying you're tired of the news. There is nothing. Yeah. Nothing is really changing, bro. It's the same thing. We need Mbeumo right now. Why? I understand your frustration. Hey, the same news. Mbeumo to Man United. We need the deal over the line and finished. I understand your frustration, bro. Like, hey, when is this deal gonna be finished? When is this deal gonna be over the line? I understand the frustration from every fan, bro. Like, it's extremely frustrating that, okay, every week we're talking about Brian Mbeumo to Manchester United. Every week it's the same thing. This deal hasn't been finalized. It's been over a month, bro, and we're still talking about the same deal. We're still talking about the same situation. So United, let's try and find a solution to this Brian Mbeumo deal, because fans are tired of just talking about, hey, Brian Mbeumo to Manchester United. Fans are tired of just talking about the same thing, right? If the third bid, the third evaluation is rejected, I think we do walk away. Let's see if we do walk away from the Brian Mbeumo deal. Who's our next option? Who's the next guy on the list? Because it'll be devastating if we don't get Brian Mbeumo. We've already missed out on somebody like Gyökeres. So hey, let's see how we move, how we're moving in the transfer window, because that's gonna determine whether, oh, you do something or not, bro. That is gonna determine whether you do something or not this season. The players you bring in are gonna determine what type of season you have, because I know we all know Man United. You can't just rely on the players you have, right? You need some new faces, you need some new guys, and you just need something that can take you to the next level, because we know as fans, bro, we can't rely on the players we already have, bro. We can't rely on them week in, week out. We can't rely on the strikers we have. We can't. So we need some new faces, some new players, some new blood into the team, bro. Some quality into the team, bro. Quality faces, quality players. So, hey, Cunha, happy that he had a good holiday. Let's see how he cooks in preseason. And another player where it is massive. Apparently, Joshua Zerski, we heard some other interview of Joshua Zerski saying next season he's going to try to genuinely fight for his place. So if you do bring another striker, it just brings more competitiveness. I do think, hey, we need another striker. We can't just go there and say, okay, let's give Zerski and Højlund another chance. I think Zerski and Højlund right now, they got to fight back. They got to fight for their place. Fight back for your place, right? Same with Andre Onana. I think next season, just bring in another goalkeeper where these guys, we've already given them a chance, right? So next season, at least bring in a goalkeeper, bring in a striker where, okay, the guys that didn't deliver last season, they're the backup. Guys, if Højlund does stay, he's the backup. He's the B-Tech striker. At least you have a main striker. Of course, we've missed out on Gyökeres. We still have other options. Some fans genuinely want Mateta as well. So that's another realistic target. But let's just hope it's not a situation of Calvert-Lewin, bro. Because Calvert-Lewin, that just sets you back as Manchester United, bro. Because what are we doing in 2025? You're bringing Calvert-Lewin, right? A guy that gets injuries, but when he doesn't have injuries, he's inconsistent. So it's a crazy transfer window, bro. It is a crazy transfer window. Was at least the guys we're being linked to in the midfield are quality, bro. Richard Rios, you got Edison. I still believe that Edison link is still real, because in like February, right? February, we heard a tweet from Fabrizio Romano. Fabrizio Romano did say February, a board meeting was had about Edison. So I remember that video. We posted that video. Fabrizio Romano said it. Hey, a board meeting was had about Edison to Manchester United. That was like in February. But since then, those Edison to Man United links have really dropped, right? They've really slowed down. They've really dropped. So I do think these guys planned out their preseason. These guys planned out everything before it happened. I just believe it's just because of this Brian Mbeumo deal, we're not getting a solution. Because of this Brian Mbeumo deal, we don't know where we're going next. So let's hope we find a solution. Let's hope we find something that can take us to that next level, bro. Take us to that next level. Bring in some good players. Bring in some good faces. And yeah, after this preseason, of course, this week, that's when the Diego León interview, I think, is going to come out as well. Apparently, Diego León did an interview. Obviously, it wasn't in English, but they're going to translate it. We know how Man United interviews are. They translate all the interviews. So Diego León did an interview. Let's probably see. We're going to see this week what he has to say in a long interview. Probably the interview will be maybe more than 8 minutes. Probably the longest will be probably 16, 15 minutes. So yeah, Diego León, we know the schedule with Man United. Every new player, they interview them, whether they don't speak English or not. So we're gonna see an interview for Diego León. Let's see what he has to say, right? We already saw the Cunha interview. The guy's excited. This is his dream club. And if Mbeumo does come, we're gonna see an interview of Mbeumo as well. So yeah, a lot is happening, bro. A lot is happening. You're saying at least they should have, like, bring in 3 players. I agree with you, bro. Like, hey, a goalkeeper, midfielder, striker. We can all agree that, okay, we need a striker. We need another midfielder. And probably we're frustrated of Onana making mistake after mistake after mistake. So a new goalkeeper is also needed, bro. It is also needed. So United, let's just start moving a bit better. Let's just start moving a bit faster. Omar Barada, I understand it's hard to negotiate with a club like Brighton, right? They have too much money in the Premier League. These guys, they don't need to sell, bro. They don't need a club like Brighton. They finished above us. So they got more than Man United, right? They earned more from the Premier League than Man United because they finished above us. So a club like Brentford, sorry, Brentford, they finished above us. So it'll be hard to negotiate with these guys, bro. It'll be genuinely hard to negotiate with these guys because in the Premier League, they made more money than us. Of course, Europa League, that's where we made some money, right? Europa League, that's where we made more money. Overall, Man United made more money than Brentford, but in the Premier League alone, they made more money because they finished above us. So negotiating with clubs like that, they got too much money, bro. They have too much money, so they'll make it difficult. They'll make it hard. Premier League clubs have too much money now. That's why the negotiations are going so crazy because some of these guys, I think they want genuinely 70 million for Brian Mbeumo, right? We heard some reports saying that is the valuation they're looking for, something like 70M. So will Man United pay such a valuation? I don't know, bro. I don't know, but it's just great to see. Hey, some of our guys are already there. Cunha, this and that. Yes, it's hard to negotiate with Premier League clubs, but if you can get the deal over the line, I think it will be heartbreaking for a lot of fans that, okay, Brian Mbeumo, he's a guy that we need to add some goals, man, just to add some experience as well, just to add that Premier League experience as well. So so a lot of fans, we like the idea of, hey, Man United are shopping in the Premier League, bro. Man United are shopping in the Premier League. We like that idea, but uh start moving a bit faster, bro. Start moving a bit faster. So yeah, just appreciate everybody that did join the stream. Like, hey, Diego León in the building, Cunha in the building, our first training session. And let's just hope it's a good one, man. We just want to see these players fit and ready for that first Premier League game, right? Arsenal versus Man United. It's gonna be a big one, but I'm seeing Man United winning, right? Arsenal versus United. I see a United win. Diego León, let's see. He might come on as a sub, right? But for sure, Cunha is gonna start that Arsenal game. Let's see. Maybe the new striker will start that Arsenal game. Maybe Mbeumo, if we get over the line, will start that Arsenal game. So, massive game, bro. Massive game. I do see Man United just getting over the line against Arsenal in that one. And yeah, preseason, it's not really difficult games, bro. The preseason schedule, it's not like hard teams, right? It's not really hard teams, man. We're gonna be playing some really okay teams in preseason. Let me even check the preseason schedule because 19th of July, first we'll play Leeds, then West Ham, then Bournemouth. So it's not overly hard teams in preseason, but we know Leeds, they're going to play their first team. Probably West Ham as well. If Kudos is still there, it'll be an exciting game. West Ham versus Manchester United. We know Bissaka is ex-Manchester United player. So preseason, we're going to see some good games as well. Bournemouth as well. They've been playing some good football as well. So preseason, there are some good preseason games over the line. Even Everton, we play Everton as well. So before that Arsenal game, we have some competitive games in preseason, bro. You're saying you feel like Amarim will have a meeting with certain players. Yeah, like how we saw Ten Hag had a meeting with some players last season. I think that might happen as well. And it's interesting that Casemiro is staying, right? We heard some fake rumors that Casemiro has agreed to go to Saudi, but looks like he is staying. He is gonna be a Manchester United player. So it would be interesting to see, okay, now that we're gonna buy a new midfielder. So that genuinely means that Casemiro might just be a bench player this season, bro. It genuinely might mean that because we know he's staying, Casemiro is staying, and we're gonna buy a new midfielder. So that new midfielder, I think he's gonna be probably a starting midfield. Let's just give an example. If we buy somebody like Edison, I don't see a situation where Edison is on the bench, right? I think it might be a double pivot of Bruno Fernandes and Edison. That might be the situation, bro, because that's how we've been moving as Manchester United. Okay, like Casemiro, it might be a bench situation. Same with probably Kobe Mainoo. Kobe Mainoo, does he start a lot of games next season? This season, sorry, it's gonna be hard for players like Kobe, players like Casemiro to be starting week in, week out, right? Also Mason Mount. If you do buy Brian Mbeumo, we know Mason Mount is starting, but Cunha, we know Cunha has that number 10 shirt now. He's gonna be a starting player for Manchester United. If Mbeumo comes, he's another starting player for Man United. So Mason Mount, Casemiro, Kobe Mainoo, they might see themselves on the bench regularly, right? A bit more than last season. So it's just good. I view it as a good thing because look at your bench, bro. Your bench has Casemiro, Kobe Mainoo, Mason Mount. That's a good bench to have, bro. Squad depth, and it makes our team a bit more competitive. That's why I'm in favor of bringing in a new midfielder, bringing in more competition, bringing in new number 10s like Cunha. It brings in more competition for guys like Mason Mount, other guys. So it's actually positive, man. It's actually positive. Having somebody like Kobe Mainoo on the bench, it's actually positive. It means that, okay, your starting lineup is insane. If Kobe Mainoo is on the bench, Casemiro is on the bench, your starting lineup is insane. So it's just massively positive, bro. It is just massively positive that, okay, we're building a team that's competing, bro, that can compete, that can take you to the next level, and that can deliver. It's just extremely positive. So I think strengthening in every position is something. I want our whole team just to be like our defense, right? When somebody like Martinez is injured, you still have Delete. That's an insane defense. So it's just positive, and yeah, let's see what we do in this preseason. But I appreciate everybody that joined the stream, and Diego Leon in the building. Our first training session is today. Obviously, Ruben Amram, he's already at Carrington. He arrives earlier than this. He's already at Carrington. So some of the players are at Carrington right now. We're just waiting for like some pictures, some videos from Man United of this first training session. But a lot of the players, a lot of the people have tapped in, bro. They prepared the whole facility, and we just hope it's a situation where this season is better than last season, bro. We just hope it's a situation where, okay, this season at least you don't have negative goal difference. At least you finish above top 5, right? That should be the aim, at least above top 5. Try and get into the Champions League. If you can get into the Champions League, I think, hey, Europa League is okay, but we're building a team that can compete for Champions League. If Mbeumo comes, if a new midfielder comes, if a new goalkeeper comes, that's a team that can compete for top 4, bro. So let's just see what we do in the transfer window. But hey, it's a massive season for United, bro. It is a massive season. It's a big season. Let's just hope we find a way to deliver, and appreciate everybody that just joined the stream, man. Like, hey, let's hope we have